So I'm gonna set a timer.
Do your thing.
45 seconds, and literally the whole time it's just dynamic, active.
Yeah.
So just like, let's go.
Sounds
Just push yourself into the stretch. 1, 2, 3. Come back out, and just repeat this as much as you can. So really just emphasize the glute contraction in that back
glute,
leg, right? That's gonna help us push the hips forward.
Yeah.
And actually find a bit more relaxation there as well.
So over here, you're trying to be active.
You're
not just falling into it. You're
yeah,
squeezing this glute.
Absolutely. 1, 2, 3. So we're just gonna repeat that and switch sides. And you'll probably find you can actually sink a little bit deeper if you externally rotate the leg a bit, push the knee out to the side. Go back up. Or just go until the timer goes off. Hold for about a 3 count at the bottom of each rep. But yeah, that glute contraction on the back leg, for anything hip extension, that's like one of the most important aspects of it. It's gonna help physically pull you deeper into extension, but it's also gonna relax the hip flexors a little bit more, kind of ease your nervous system up a little bit. The next one I believe is the elephant walks. Where's your pike flexibility at right now? Okay, let's go. Let's go, that's cold too.
He complimented me.
So you wanna be in like an approximate end range, but not like so deep that you're unable to do it. So I would say probably about that's good.
Okay.
So hands just pressed into that. And you know the elephant walks, right? That's classic. 1 leg at a time, So we're gonna hold the stretch for 3 seconds each side. I'm gonna set the timer up, 45. So then just shift 1, 2, 3, bend both knees.
Bend both knees and go into
and then shift to the other side. 1, 2, 3, bend both. This is like a bit of a nerve flossing technique. Where you're creating that tension on the nerve, the tibial nerve behind the knee, and then you bend the knee to just kind of flow it back and forth through its sheath. Will help reduce some of the intensity of our hamstring flexibility stretches and stuff.
So what would you tell someone who feels numbness behind their leg if they're doing this?
That they're probably just going a bit too intense and just back off the range a little bit. Because like that...
Keep it out of numbness, basically, right?
Yeah, I mean, there's a level of discomfort you're gonna have to work through. Just like inherently, but at the same time, you don't want to be like going to the point where you're creating a negative feedback loop and your nervous system's like, every time he's in this position, we're having problems, and it's like, then your body just thinks of that as like a bad range, right? You know what I mean?
It's trying to make you feel safe there.
Exactly.
It's going to maintain the range.
Trying to reassure the nervous system that we're safe to be there, that we're actually in a controlled environment, we're able to go deeper. And if it's fucking pain every time you're going down there, then your body's like, we don't like this. This is bad. This is vulnerable. This is dangerous. And it will create those involuntary contractions. Just tighten everything up, right?
Cool.
And so it's per side. I mean, you've probably done it. Just front kicks, 15 reps of front kicks, stretch kicks. Just work through a comfortable range, you know, just getting, again, more dynamic flexibility in to help ease up the nervous system a bit, get things warmed up. And then we'll say that's about 15.
I was about to say, I ain't counting.
We'll go for the back kicks now. So it's just
same leg?
Swinging your leg back, same leg,
And so what's the purpose of doing this before the entire workout?
Oh, again, it's warming things up. It's getting your core body temperature elevated, getting your heart flowing. It's moving the muscles that are relevant to the exercises we're going to be doing through a larger range of motion dynamically. Just get the nervous system prepped, right? Get our body ready to go for some of the deeper ranges that we're going to be hitting later in the session, right? Cool. So now we're going to do the sides. So it's going to be 15 out to the side. Just working through whatever range is comfortable, and maybe gradually trying to increase the velocity of those kicks. Put a bit more power into them. 14, 15. Now we're flowing right into the inner kicks. 7. So think about really flexing those adductors with this one. And just some butt kicks. 1, 2, 14, 15. Now same thing on the other leg now.
Same thing. Same thing.
So your front kicks, on 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
He's trying not to get kicked in the face. What's up, man? How you doing?
12.
All good. No, it's all good.
All good?
Holy shit,
hit those back kicks now. 9.
And pitching forward here is okay.
Yeah. For sure. Again, we're not like trying to isolate end ranges with this. We're just like
getting warm,
working through a good range of motion, getting the body warmed up, increasing the body temperature, everything like that, right?
Yeah.
So the out kicks now, 14, 15. Now the inner kicks, 1, 14, and 15. Just some butt kicks
warm
now.
as fuck.
Yeah.
It's super warm.
That's it, man.
We super warm.
Maximize that knee flexion, bro. You got more than that. There you go. Yeah, I mean, this is all sort of a high kick program, right? So
Yeah.
having stretch kicks in the program, I think is important to help people learn how to use that range of motion dynamically, right? Because it's one thing to have flexibility, but it's another thing to be able to use that actively, that range of motion in the skill of a kick, right? Being able
That's
to
true.
coordinate how to pivot your foot, how to turn your hip over, how to extend that, right?
True.
This is one of those ones that's simple, but not easy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel a lot of people get this wrong. Like when I give it to my clients, this one, they either will like really excessively round their low back.
Big compensation.
Or the compensation somewhere.
I like to definitely hold on to something for support, right? So that over there.
Yeah.
And just maximize that hip flexion
hold
as
this,
much as possible. If anything, you can even potentially grab on that, right?
Yeah, we'll be fine here.
So we're going 10 reps.
Yeah.
3-second holds at the top of each.
Okay.
Keep it strict. 1, 2, 3. Back down. 1, 2, 3. Back down. That's 2.
Why did I do legs yesterday?
1, 2, 3. Yeah. I like to take a nice big breath in and brace as I'm holding that contraction. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.
Out for sure, but that's the point, right?
1, 2, 3. Yeah, the last 2 should be fucking balls to wall. 1, 2, 3. All right, so let's get a direct side switch. Stay up there, bro. This is one thing also a lot of people get wrong or don't realize with my programs at least, is that when we're doing supersets and circuits, the pace is supposed to be non-stop and we rest after all the work's completed, right? So it's from one side directly to the next, and then we're about to flow directly into a couch stretch with no rest, and then we rest for 90 seconds in between our little round of the superset, and we get back to it. 1, 2, 3, there it is, he's good.
What's the benefits of going straight into the next exercise instead of taking a little bit of a break?
Yeah, so
why do you do that?
Again, very similar to the strategy I was mentioning with the warm-up.
Yeah.
It helps to just increase that core body temperature and really like get your body working, right? And the warmer that you are, the more pliable your muscles are going to be.
Yeah.
And so keeping that pace allows us to get a lot of work done relatively quickly or in a shorter period of time.
Yeah.
And not only that, but it gets our core body temperature elevated.
Yeah.
And you'll notice like we're doing the hip flexor short range work, right? Overloading the most shortened position, that peak contraction.
Yeah.
Now we're stretching everything out, right? So we're getting that agonist-antagonist relationship, which is gonna help like open up the hip flexors a lot more and just send more blood flow to the area that we're working right now, right? It's been 15 seconds, so we're gonna start our contractions, right? So for you, it's really just gonna be squeezing the glute, pressing your foot into that bench and just like extending the hips forward, right? So we'll do a 5 count, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then a big breath out. And this is where we're gonna relax and explore the stretch a little bit, right? So if you're comfortable there, if that's a good stretch, you just stay there. If you can, push your butt closer to your heel. This is where we're gonna try and do that. So we're holding this 10 seconds. So let's do our second round of contraction here. So 3, 2, 1, press. I'm in the wall, he's pressing into the bench. 4, 5. Now we're taking a big breath out and trying to relax a little deeper into the stretch. 8, 9, 10. So that's it. We're gonna switch sides here now.
Never do legs before this shit. Do not do leg press, do not deadlift. My quad is fucked. I'm keeping it real.
You feel this more in the quads or the hips?
I feel it in both.
Yeah?
I usually don't feel the quad at all. That's why I know I did something yesterday.
Yeah.
I went ham on leg
Yeah, if your
press, I'll be
quads
real.
are sore, then these are a lot harder to do. All right, so again, 45 seconds. So the first 10 seconds, we're just relaxing into the stretch in a comfortable position, right? No need to push it here.
Yeah.
Just kind of getting our body settled into the stretch. And when the clock hits 30 right now, we're gonna hit our contraction. So let's go. Right, so now we're exploring the stretch, allowing those muscles to be soft. Next contraction right now, just repeating this for intervals. Use those contractions to relax the muscles further and open up deeper range so we can access it. So that's the superset right there. That's round 1.
Sick.
So we're gonna rest for 90 seconds.
And back at it.
And then back at it. And now that we're set up, this is another key, where if you're doing mobility circuits or supersets, set your shit up before you start the set, so that you can literally just flow from one exercise to the next, because it takes however long, 30, 60 seconds to set up your station or whatever. So that is basically a rest period, right? If we're not having it set up beforehand.
And with this exercise, it's really important to actually squeeze. Like when it says squeeze the glute, you gotta intensely squeeze.
Yeah.
We're not just trying to fall into it and then exhale and just let the whole stretch go. The whole point is the intention, right? You squeeze the glute, then on the exhale, you're really relaxing in the stretch. It's not a time for you to just fucking chill. You have to actually be doing the right intentions.
Yeah,
So
stretching's a skill. You know what I mean? And
100%.
a lot of people, when they're doing the stretching, I'm sure you see this too all the time. It's like they're on their phone scrolling, or they're just
100%.
like mindlessly holding the position.
100%.
And it's like, if we want to make flexibility gains and increase range of motion, then we need to treat our stretching like we would treat a deadlift or a squat. Like bring that same intention to it, where you're like, hey, what are my form cues? Is my technique right? Am I setting everything up right? Am I bringing the level of intensity that I need to be, right? Like if I'm doing a heavy set of some splits work or some flexibility work, I'm treating that like a 1 rep max, you know what I mean? Like I'm bringing that same level of energy and intention into it.
Yeah,
you know?
Because it's a matter of millimeters, right? Like every millimeter extra you can get, that adds up.
It can, yeah, absolutely.
So let's say I do this and I can get 10 reps the first set, but then near the end, it's hard. Would you recommend just force your way through it?
No,
or just do
I
what you
would
can
generally recommend to do it as a drop set, right? So once you start to hit fatigue and approach failure, we have a lighter kettlebell on standby, and you just finish your prescribed reps. With like, from a 15, you go drop down to a 10, for example, right?
If you're not doing it properly, then you're losing the point of the exercise.
Well, and this is a concentric movement, right? So it's not like we can just do negatives and you know, assist ourselves back up into the top position. It's not going to create that same effect, because what we're doing here is for a teep kick, right? Like we're developing that strength in our hip flexors to be able to snap that kick off. And it's not just about your flexibility in the hamstrings, but we also need strength in these hip flexors to be able to snap that leg up, right? So for the purposes we're serving here, we really want to be overloading that concentric phase, that peak contraction, and also trying to get as much hip flexion as we can, right? So he's at about 90 degrees here. Ideally, in terms of long-term progression, we would want to take those 15-pound kettlebells probably up to about like 60 or 70 degrees of flexion.
I thought you were about to say 60 pounds.
Or sorry, actually.
I'm like, bruh.
No, actually, opposite way. So probably about like 110.
Yes.
Like 110.
Yeah, like
I was going down.
Flexing a little bit more.
Yeah. So instead of here, like maybe up on this.
So would you drop the weight then?
No.
No, it's fine.
No, my standard when I teach this is 90 degrees is your baseline. So if you can't hit 90 degrees of flexion,
then you drop the weight.
Then you need to drop your weight, right? The shit that gets us results is never fun, you know?
Yeah.
You gotta suffer sometimes.
And even like when I start, let's say I got a client, they think they can get further into it than they can, because they're, you know, they're doing front splits. They're not turned towards the front leg. They're like out to the side.
Yeah.
But like if you keep training it like that, you might get a little bit further, but you're not going to improve it over time, right? Like that's the whole point of the exercise.
Yeah.
Like you got to do the form properly.
Yeah, I mean, you want tension going to the right areas of a stretch, especially. And there's a lot of compensations that can be made to just shift the tension away from that area that is most sensitive for you, right?
Yeah.
For a lot of people, that's the hip flexors.
That's true.
That's a very neural position. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. All right, bro. So right into the couch stretch. When it hits 30 seconds, we're contracting, and then when it hits 15 seconds, we're contracting. All right. Cool. 5-second contractions, 10-second relax phase.
Let's do it.
All right, contract. Let's go. So this is where we're gonna, again, just relax, explore the stretch, right? You don't necessarily have to go deeper, but we're exploring like how does it feel to go deeper.
Yeah.
Right. All right, contract. Then again. Yeah. There you go. Getting deeper already, bro.
It's getting there. Yeah. Yeah, like I could do this on the wall, but I feel like I end up compensating because of my foot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The ankle starts to feel that tension.
So I would end up like not doing it properly.
Yeah. So a quick pro tip with the couch stretch, whenever you're doing it, the best way to create the best line of tension through the entire quad, especially the hip flexors, is tucking our tail into like a posterior tilt, right? So actually we're supposed to be contracting, so let's get a contraction in. 2, 3, 4, 5. And as you're relaxing back into it, think about like tucking your tail, pushing your hip forward, and creating that sort of stacked position of your ribs and your pelvis. All right. So we'll do our next contraction here. 3, 2, 1. Just spend a little bit of time relaxing in that stretch. Try to get that range out of the quads. Let's see if in your last set, I want to close this gap here. It's like an inch or two.
Yeah, we can.
Relax phase. How you feeling so far?
Feeling good, man. Feeling good. The exhale is super important. Like when you're relaxing into it, you don't want to be holding on to the air, because what you're teaching your nervous system is, hey, I'm unsafe here. We have to feel safe. Otherwise, our body does not give us the range we want. Like that's super key. I'm sure you've seen it with people you work with too, where they're like stretching, but it's like they're fucking holding on to all the tension. It just doesn't work, man.
That's like what's known in the weightlifting community as like a brace, right? Like you're bracing for a heavy weight load.
Exactly.
And there's times where we do want to be able to hold on to tension in like an end range lengthened position. And there's times, like for example, when we're trying to move into ranges of motion that we haven't been able to access before or haven't been able to access for a long period of time.
Yeah.
That's when you really want to learn how to release that tension and basically use your breathing techniques and the contraction techniques to reassure your body like, okay, we are safe to be here.
For sure.
Like we're doing this in a controlled environment, you know? Like it's not a torture machine where someone's ripping you apart. Like we're doing this to ourselves, right? Like this is the intention of the work that we're doing. And through those methods of communication via breathing, via isometric contractions, and even things of just like actively relaxing your face. You know, a lot of people like are doing these crazy winces, right?
That's a big
one.
one.
That's carrying tension, right?
100%. That's a big one.
You're reassuring your body that that you're uncomfortable, right? That you're in a risky position.
Even the faces, like that's big.
100%. Quick pro tip. Up again. 1, 2, 3. There you go.
Point your foot straight.
Yeah. Yeah, because that internal rotation, that slight bit of internal rotation is actually going to activate your rectus femoris a lot more. Just help you get a little bit more out of the exercise. Last one. Let's give her 1, 2, 3. That's it.
That's a good point with the foot turning in too, though, because if you turn it out, you're trying to actually engage, like from an anatomical perspective, you're trying to engage like TFL, you're trying to engage all these other muscles to make it easier. So as soon as I turned it in, that actually made it.
You feel it. It's like a lot harder, right?
Yeah, way harder. And then it makes sense from like, you know.
Yeah, you're shifting that tension over to other muscles to help contribute to the action of lifting your leg.
Yeah, it makes sense from even like a medical perspective. So that's where
you just want to isolate the rectus femoris, right? Like that muscle right there.
Like, dude, that's why these tiny things with the execution is so important.
It's technical work, bro. Like it really, this style of flexibility training is very, very technical because slight differences in your intention and your execution and even your setup sometimes can literally make all the difference. One more. Bite it. All right, there it is. Because I want to see that butt to heel. So first of all, in setup, let's just push that knee slightly closer to the bench. See, that's another thing that I find can be really helpful is like if you had like a bench or something in front of you, so you can actually
use something to
push
off.
push yourself further into the stretch with your arms.
So now where's the balance with that and making sure you're not just passively stretching? Because like as we know, if you're just pushing, like some people they might take that, they might start just straight pushing, right?
Yeah. Well,
How do you
so
balance that?
I would say if that helps you get into a range of motion that you can't access otherwise, then like, because we're doing PNF, right? So half of it is passive stretching, half of it is active stretching, and we're recycling that for intervals. So I would say that that's good, but then over time, like let's say we use that strategy to get your butt to your heel, then we're gonna wanna eliminate that and then try to be able to get there on our own, right? Without that support. So it's like it's a gradual evolution type thing. So let's get a contraction from you here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and big breath out. Relax it. 9, 10, and we're gonna go for another hard contraction. Max that shit out. 5, and then we're relaxing, right? So I mean, you can even do the same sort of thing with your front leg and just kind of push yourself further into it. So actually, like fucking push my arms, bro. Yeah. The ball of your foot on the floor in front. So like come off the wall a bit. Yeah. A little more. Yeah. Just like that. Right? Can you flex this quad anymore? Like flex it to extend it, in other words?
Oh, you mean like here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
So let's just get you set up with a support. So this one we're doing as repetitions. So you're gonna start in the top, like so come up, right? And we're gonna sink down into that stretch. Do your best to maintain extension of that knee. 2, 3, 4, 5, and then back up. That's 1 rep. We're going for 5 reps total.
Now does the knee need to touch the floor or is it okay?
No, we want to keep that leg as straight as possible. So you're actively extending that knee, extending the glute and the hip.
Yeah. Even on the bend?
Yeah. Oh yeah. The goal, ideally, is to keep this leg fully straight and be able to sink all the way down into like.
So when you go down here, when you go down, you're not looking to get down to the floor because you should be far enough that that's not even possible.
Yeah. And down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And so reset that intention, drive your heel into the wall, flex that quad, and then just only go as deep as you can keep that tension. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There you go. Forgot to mention last rep is a 10 count. When I come up to the top, I reset that intention, like I flex that quad, I extend everything, contract the glute, and then I only go down as deep as I can maintain that action. Right? If I feel like my knee's starting to go soft, I'm losing that contraction at the glute, and I'm going a little too deep, and so I'll just come back up until I can find that extension, right?
Yeah.
Because we want that straight leg hip extension through the hip flexors to carry over to things like our front split, right?
Yeah.
Or teeps, for example.
Makes sense. So only go as far, like let's say like right now it's tight.
Yeah,
so just start here.
That's it then. And that's cool, right? Like, again, some people when they're starting out, like they're just not gonna be able to get that leg straight and fully extended, because it's not only the flexibility side of things, but there's also the neuromuscular coordination to be able to actually create that contraction in those end range positions. Places that people aren't training directly very often. 4, 5, last one we're gonna hold for 10. So really drive that heel into the wall, flex that quad, extend everything as straight, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we're holding these for 45 seconds, each leg. Main thing I want you to focus on is just keeping this knee fully extended.
Yeah, because I always bend this one.
Yeah.
Everyone I fucking work with, they always start like, oh, look how far I'm going. Like, no, you're not.
It's the most common thing I see. And the reason for that is because the the tendons, the ligaments, the nerves that run behind our knee
Yeah.
are the most sensitive, right?
Yeah.
So if we can create slack in that area and we reduce the tension,
Yeah.
it feels a lot better,
100%.
right? It shifts the tension up your hamstring towards your
Yeah.
pelvis, but it's not creating any tension in those key areas that we need to actually accumulate time under tension in order to make the adaptations
That's true.
that we're looking for long-term hamstring flexibility gains,
Yeah.
where you can just do this cold at any point, right?
Yeah.
So it's been about 15 seconds settling into the stretch. We're gonna create our first contraction, which is gonna be just driving that heel down. And I want you to come up a bit more into a bit more upright. So like flatten the back and just like, as if we're creating this action, but not moving, right? So 3, 2, 1, 1, 4, 5, big breath out. And just relax a little deeper into the stretch. Can we touch the toe at this stage?
Yeah.
Yeah, easy. All right, so now let's see if after the next one we can get like thumb to toe range, right? Let's get the contraction. 1, 2, 5, big breath out, and we're relaxing. There you go. See, this is a strategy that is very, very helpful for flexibility training, is always having these little targets of metrics we can track to basically create progressive overload, right? So it's like if set 1, he's able to get this deep, then by the end of our 3rd set, we should aim to have like maybe his wrist to toe range, right? And then from there, it's like we can go wrist to toe, then forearm to toe, then elbow to toe, and just like continually progressively overload the exercise.
Because if every time you do it, you're reaching here every single time, you're just telling your body, okay, I already have the range that I want and that I need, right? So if you're telling your body, hey, now I need this, and then you train that slowly over time, each millimeter you fight for, you end up achieving and maintaining even when you're cold.
Yeah, it just becomes more accessible to you over time. So let's switch up the legs. How's that feeling?
Good. I'm alive. Feels loose.
Yeah. Listen, man, it's not meant to feel good.
Yeah,
you know,
that's why I'm not gonna say I feel like ass. I know what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah. But it's definitely uncomfortable, man. It's definitely uncomfortable.
Now with the bottom leg, does it matter if the leg is turned out like this or if it's more like this? Does it make a difference?
So that's a great question. There's a bit of nuance to it because like, technically, yes, that's the position of your pelvis. So the more you turn your foot inward, the more internally rotated your pelvis is going to be, which is going to make the stretch a lot more strict. The tension's going to be a lot higher on like the bicep femoris, for example, right? Like your main sort of hip flexor, hamstring muscle. But the more you open up, although it's taking tension away, it might actually allow you to reach a little deeper into the position and like actually accumulate more overall range of motion, right? So like at a beginner level, I generally coach my clients to just do what naturally feels most comfortable. And over time, as you get to a higher level, we can like clean up the finer details, you know? But for some people, like having that strict internally rotated position means they're not even able to lean into the stretch. It's just that intense. And then it's like, okay, that's not serving the purposes that we need it to serve, right? So there is some nuance and some play with it based on the individual, right? Based on how it's feeling. So let's start our first contraction here.
I did one.
You did one? Okay. Nice. He's already going. He's one step ahead.
I was using your conversation to distract me.
Yeah. Another good strategy for flexibility training.
That works, man. I watch like football when I'm doing some of this stuff.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'll put the timer on and I'm just like watching and I'm like, damn, this fucking hurts. But like, hey, you scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
That's actually big. Like if you're having a hard time fitting your mobility training into your schedule, pair a habit that you enjoy. Like if you like watching the Leafs, you like watching hockey, do your mobility routine while it's on in the background. That doesn't mean like zone out of your training. Obviously be intentional, but at least you can pair it with something you like so you can fit it into your routine. And that way you're not just skipping the workouts, right?
Yeah.
It's straight from Atomic Habits.
Yeah.
You read that book?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's straight from there. Like pair it with some person you don't like doing with something that you like doing, and then you'll end up fitting it in.
It makes it a little less dreadful.
But you can't just be doom scrolling or like just watching that. You still have to be zoned in.
Absolutely.
But at least it's on.
All right, bro. So we're gonna do our hip flexor lift now. So big pro tip here. Flex your foot, plantar flex the foot as much as you can. Because that's going to engage like the entire leg and actually get a lot more recruitment from your rectus femoris.
So point it down is going to get you better activation.
Yeah. And same with kicks, right? Like you also want to have it pointed with your kick. You have a lot more control.
It kind of gives you that neural feedback.
Yeah,
like, this is what
100%.
you want to do when you're kicking anyways,
100%.
right?
1, 2, 4, 5. There you go. That's 10. That's it, yeah.
What the fuck, that's it?
Yep.
It's just 2? It's just 2 holds?
It's actually supposed to be 1 at 10 seconds.
Oh,
right?
I've been doing that shit wrong. I've been doing 5 reps of 5 seconds. No wonder I'm dying.
Yeah, that's a lot. That's more time under tension than what's prescribed.
So 10 seconds.
Yeah. 1 10-second hold is what it's ideally meant. If you can't hit that, then breaking it up into like...
Oh, I would fucking love that.
2 is fine. 1, 2, 9, 10. There it is.
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
so
we already did that.
Yeah.
So now we're doing isometric.
End range isometric.
Yeah.
Just like recruit a lot more motor units to the hip flexors.
Yeah.
And also, there's a good flow to it, right? Because when you're doing it as a circuit, it's like you do your hamstring stretches, right? And then you go right into the iso, and it flows. Right?
Oh, yeah. So you don't want to take a break. Yeah, that's the
that's the point of it.
You kind of want to go straight into it, one set.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one big mistake, just for the camera, what I was saying before, was you don't want to just be going back like this, right? It's like what you were saying. We're not really changing the angle of the hip then.
Yeah.
You're just leaning back.
Yeah.
So you really want to, what we're trying to do is we're trying to reduce this angle with the isometric. So you don't want to do this. You kind of want to pause and then lift
If anything, lean forward, right? Because that's closing this joint angle.
Exactly. So if you're going to do that,
going to be
lean forward a bit.
More relative hip flexion.
Exactly. So don't lean back. Make sure you're not compensating and you're doing the proper form and reducing the angle so you can get better hip flexion and then better teeps.
Yep.
Sick.
Facts. All right, so up. Remember, this is reps. So squat down now. Yeah. 1, 2, 5. Back up. Again. 4, 5. Back up. Block this. Extend that. Yeah. And squat down. Try to keep that. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. One more. We're going for a 10 count on this one. 1, 2, 3, 9, 10. You're good.
Shit as fuck.
It's hard. It's so funny because it looks so simple on camera, and then you're in it and you're like, holy fuck, bro. Like, am I gonna get through this?
That's what a lot of my clients end up saying. It's like, oh yeah, in your video, it just looked like you're just like going into it, but no, I'm dying. I'm just keeping the face, right?
As I was saying, you got a good poker face.
You gotta do. You can't tell yourself it's hard.
How you perceive the things that you're doing in terms of intensity.
Yeah, like if you're going into it and you're like, oh my god, it's so hard.
Yeah,
you're gonna cut yourself
up. Then
you're gonna injure yourself, and that's big in physio too.
Yeah,
the stuff that I do.
Yeah.
If you're trying something, you're like, oh man, I have a feeling I'm gonna mess something up.
Yep.
If you slowly increase the load, the volume, and you've done it in a safe way,
gradual exposure.
Good. But like we learned that in school. Like if you tell yourself that you're gonna get hurt, you have that limiting belief, you're not going to make any progress.
The likelihood of you fucking
you might actually get injured as a result of that, right?
Last one, we're gonna hold it for 10. 1, 2, 10. There it is.
Oh boy.
It's time under tension, boy.
Ooh.
Time under tension. All right, right up here, let's go. Could be helpful, especially for a guy like yourself who has like some, stiffness, muscle tissue stiffness, probably fascia is a little more dense. Using some weight to like guide you deeper into a stretch like this, like static positions, can be very effective. And this is the thing, like quick pro tip with loading stretches. We need to find that sweet spot that is not overloading it to the point where it activates that stretch reflex and the neural response from your body to tighten everything up. But we don't want it to be so light that it's not actually doing anything to guide us deeper into the stretch, right? To amplify gravity. So sometimes you might have to play around with it to find a weight that is not too heavy to the point where it tightens everything up and prevents you from getting deeper, but also not too light to the point where it actually doesn't guide you deeper into the stretch in the first place, right? So that's where we're at right now, is kind of that sweet spot. So he's able to maintain good form at the knee here, keep it straight, relax deeper into it. How's that feel?
good. I like the weight. It's good.
Obviously, the weight amplifies the stretch,
Yeah.
right? Does it make you feel like you can get deeper though, or is it just kind of like loading?
Yeah, a little bit actually.
Yeah.
But I don't know if it's because it's the second set.
Yeah.
Could be
There's
that it's-
obviously that.
Yeah.
That effect will also take place, right? And that's part of what we're doing with the circuit here. You'll notice that there's a lot of agonist, antagonist movements here to create a stimulus that is going to charge up your nervous system and actually prepare it for deeper ranges when we check in on our splits or whatever the main positions are, right? Some people like talking on a more broad spectrum. Some people, they don't even give a shit about the splits. They just want to touch their toes. Or like whatever that sort of position that we're checking in on and using to track progress is. If we create that sort of stimulus with the circuit to do agonist, antagonist muscles and just like prep everything, it'll allow us to get a lot deeper in those range checks. Which is, you know, where we're looking to ultimately unlock new range of motion.
And like even when you're holding a weight, we're not trying to just hang out here. It's like what you were saying. We have to contract the muscle that we're stretching and then get a little bit deeper into it because it allows our nervous system to down regulate, basically just release some of that tension. It's not just that your muscles are like physically tight, it's that your nervous system is telling your body like, hey, this is what's safe, we got to keep it in this range. So that's why adding a weight can get you deeper. That's why contracting that muscle gets you deeper, because now you've told it like, hey, we can activate here, so we're safe. Let's let go of that tension. So don't just hang out here and fucking sit here for a minute. Like actually do something while you're there.
For sure.
Progress the range, like something needs to, there's so many ways to
even as simple as just holding an extra 15 seconds. If it's a static stretch, right?
The duration.
Increasing the time under tension.
Yeah.
If it's like for the long lunge, it could just be adding an extra rep.
Yeah.
Right? Or holding each rep for longer, right?
Sure.
So we can manipulate time under tension to also apply progressive overload.
Yes.
If let's say the client is not quite ready to like start adding weight to it, right? If that's too big of a jump, then we can just be like, all right, let's just hold it for
hold it a little bit longer.
Because that is in a very real way increasing our capacity to stretch.
So how long should someone hold a stretch for? Like what's like the minimum amount of time to make effective gains?
According to like the scientific literature, it's 30 seconds. Right? Personally, I don't fully believe
I don't agree with
that.
I think it needs to be at least 90 seconds.
Follow like FRC, for example. Like they'll get you to hold a stretch for 2 minutes before even starting contraction techniques.
Like pills and rails, like they hold for a long time.
It's like a 5-minute hold. I don't personally think that you necessarily need to go that long either. You know, that's like an extreme example. But typically speaking, especially, I mean, there's a lot of nuance to it, right? Because if someone's at a beginner level and they have zero conditioning to the stretch sensation, they're just not going to be able to hold for 90 seconds, right? So in that application, 30-second sets, we still need to accumulate the same amount of time under tension, right? If they can only hold for 30 seconds, then maybe we need to do 5 sets, right? To just like still get that same time under tension in the
as long as you get the volume in,
but
right?
For someone that's starting out, like if I tell them, hey, we're holding this stretch for 2 minutes, they're like, fuck you, no we're not, like I'm not doing that, you know?
Like what I typically do is, even if someone's a beginner, I'll say, okay, we're gonna hold this for a minute, but that's not like balls to the wall, like we're not going max intensity. The 60 seconds is just you exploring the range, because for some people they haven't explored it. Like they're a complete beginner, they haven't even like begun to go about it.
They don't even know where they're at.
I just want you to breathe. Just go here. As soon as you feel a little stretch, just breathe. Every exhale, just go like a millimeter further. And if you do that in the start of your mobility journey, even like a 60-second hold, 90 seconds, then eventually you'll start to get better at stretching. Like it's 100%. A skill, like you said earlier. 100%. Stretching is a skill. So we have to get used to the sensation of being under that load.
Well, and part of the skill of stretching is not going balls to the wall right away. Right? Because if we look at it from a neurological standpoint, physiologically speaking, our stretch reflex is a response to the speed and the force that we approach our end range. So in other words, the faster and the more forcefully that we try to move into our end range, the more our nervous system is going to create involuntary contractions to tighten everything up, to prevent you from going too far, too deep, too quickly, too forcefully, and tearing a muscle or something. Right? So conversely, if we look at that from another perspective, that means, okay, that means the slower and the less forcefully that we approach our end range, the more our nervous system is going to grant us access to those ranges,
Yeah,
right? The less that neural response is going to be activated.
Yeah.
So that's why those longer duration sets are effective, because it allows us to slowly and gradually work our way into a greater a range that's past like our normal end range of motion.
Yeah, like super
right?
physiological
absolutely.
range of motion.
But the thing is, when most people do a 2-minute stretch,
Yeah.
they go right into their end range in the first 10 seconds, and then they try to just hold that for the entire 2 minutes. And it's like that is creating the neural response, right? Like you're trying to go into end range too fast, too quickly, and then your nervous system's tightening everything up. And then you're like, why does this stretch feel like shit this entire time?
Like you're getting less range than you would if you just ease into it.
Exactly.
Right?
And it's just way more uncomfortable. So that's like one of the main things I teach, especially beginners, is like whatever your end range is, like, and we do have to explore it to know where those thresholds are, right? And to be comfortable with that. But I would say when you're the first 30 seconds of a stretch, you're really meant to be holding that at like a 6 out of 10 intensity. Like just like a very, like if my end range is here, then I'm holding it here and I'm just like breathing, getting comfortable here. And then through the contract, relax technique, then I'm gradually working my way deeper into that end range position. Right?
Sick.
That's like fundamentally, that is stretching. That is static stretching.
On workout, and you have that twice a week. So typically I do it 4 times a week, where it's almost like half the volume. Like a lot of times like max 2 sets, but like we're going hard during those 2 sets. And then we repeat that 1 more time during the week, right? So what's your input on doing it 4 times a week with half the volume rather than 1 long workout?
I've experienced both strategies working. A lot of the time it comes down to the individual, right? Especially, you know, working with a lot of high level martial artists, like guys in the UFC, guys that fight professionally. They have a lot of training obligations, man. Like they're doing S&C, they're doing a lot of technical skills work and combat training. So to then try to fit 4 extra sessions in on a weekly basis is like not realistic.
Fair enough.
Whereas if we can hit that sort of minimal effective dosage in terms of stimulus in half the time, twice per week, for those guys it works a lot better. For someone who's on a more beginner level, that might be a bit of a shock to the system, that level of volume, right? That, you know, high intensity, high volume sessions a few times per week. So in that instance, it can work. It's just we have to be more cognizant of their other forms of training, right? Because it's like, if you're doing it 4 times, or so 2 times per muscle group, let's say per week, right? Then we want to make sure that, you know, the intensity and the volume is accordingly, knowing that they're going to be doing that multiple times throughout the week, and also so they're not, you know, trash going into whatever other workouts they're doing throughout the week that are part of their training, you know. So the short answer is it depends on the person, like whether
it's always
that works.
It depends.
Yeah, exactly.
That was our motto in physio school. Every answer is just, it depends. Then half an hour input, like rant. And then it ends with, it depends again.
It's true though. It's true. It's true.
Makes
For
sense.
some people, that approach works a lot better.
Because what I've seen is, let's say we do 2 days, right? And it depends on like who it is. Like you said, high level athletes, they're using that range, right? Like they're sparring, they're using it. But like for someone who's doing Muay Thai maybe 2-3 times a week, they might get stiff and maybe they work a desk job. So they need to hit a little bit more frequently. But maybe a good way would be 2 full body sessions like this. And then in between some like maintenance, like limbering sessions, something like that.
That's exactly the approach that I take now, is like, because honestly, in my experience, doing the high volume, high intensity sessions, like low frequency, has like disproportionately got the best results of all the things I've done over the last 4 years I've been doing this. So I tend, just like in terms of my own bias, I tend to just gravitate towards that more, because like I've been reinforced with results more
if
often.
It works, it works.
You know? But that being said, some people do need a bit more extra frequency. Then I'll go with like 2 heavy sessions and then 2 low intensity, low stimulus limbering sessions, just to get them moving and create like the temporary improvements that stretch, like where they feel better after the session for the rest of the day or whatever. But like, you're not going to create long lasting physiological changes in like a quick 10-minute routine.
It's going to take a while anyways.
Yeah,
right? Like,
absolutely.
The point of a routine would be just like, okay, make sure you don't lose the progress you get from the end range strengthening. That's what a lot of people do wrong, is they just do a routine. They think they're going to do a 10-minute yoga flow in the morning, and all of a sudden they're going to hit the splits, right? But we haven't taught our body how to even hold that position, hold the end range. So it's not going to work. The point of it is maintaining what you're achieving in your end range strengthening sessions. That's the best way.
Yeah, like the higher intensity sessions are what are like unlocking new ranges and creating adaptations to remodel the tendons and ligaments and like change the elasticity and extensibility of our skeletal muscle. And then those lower intensity sessions are just to get us working through that range of motion and like basically drill it into the nervous system that these are now like part of our functional ranges, right? And again, to get that temporary relief where you just feel better, right? Like
you just feel better
after a long day of sitting at the desk. You get moving through those ranges and you're like, I feel good. Like I feel a lot more mobile.
Exactly. I got a lot of clients who they're like emergency room doctors, or they're people that chart a lot, or they're software engineers that do Muay Thai, right? So for them, we really need to make sure that some of them, I even have them on a sitting stretch routine, like a seated piriformis stretch with contract relax, seated hip hinge with like adductors nice and wide, and they feel way better. And that's what we care about, right? They want to feel better.
Absolutely.
What the hell is going on here?
Some hardcore sprints, bro.
I'd rather do this than that. I'll tell you that. I'll do a most intense mobility session rather than fucking suicide.
Absolutely, bro.
He's like, get going, bro. Get started.
It's basically contract, relax sort of thing. But this one, I really want you to emphasize keeping the quads flexed the entire time and really like keeping those knees locked. So hold for 15 seconds. Yep, just keep those quads flexed pretty much the entire time. We're gonna try and leverage some reciprocal inhibition here. So now I'm gonna get you to contract, press into the blocks as hard as you can. Squeeze your abs, your hip flexors together. And then relax and just like maintain that contraction here. Let's remove this. See where you're at, your palms, okay? So let's go with here now. All right, so now we're gonna create another contraction, really pressing your palms into that. 1, 2, 5, and then big breath out. And now this is our final range check, right? So we're gonna just see where you're at in this position. So fingertips to floor, you got that. Knuckles to floor, where are you at? Like ball up a fist. All right. So your next goal, long term, would be to bridge this gap and get your knuckles to floor in a pike, right?
The goal setting is key, I feel, here.
It is, absolutely.
Like once you say, okay, I really want to get this to there, then you're going to do the intention. Like, squeeze my abs and hip flexors.
It gives you a purpose.
Yeah, right? Otherwise you're just stretching. You don't even know what you're trying to get to, right? Yeah. So those micro goals are really important.
Setting targets is the most important thing.
Yeah, it's huge. It's massive.
Right, so you're good now. I was gonna say, maybe just a pro tip for the camera is that if you are training the forward fold, towards the end of the set, it's always a good idea, at least in my experience, to use your arms to try and help leverage deeper into the stretch, right? So if you can get palms to floor or whatever, right? So Prab was kind of about here, right? So then we're gonna try and use our arms to pull us deeper into compression so that we can give ourselves a better chance of hitting that target, whatever it is, right? Whatever our target is, right? And then the goal is to like use your arms to help you get into that position, and then when you let go, to not just bounce right back up, but to actually maintain that range and use it more actively, right? Number one key to splits training, sliders. These are the most underrated tools I have ever seen. No one really gives a fuck about them, but they're like the most effective thing for splits training that I've ever used.
Yeah.
Like obviously yoga blocks are also very effective, but the more we can reduce the friction of the surface that we're working on, the easier it's going to be for us to open up into new ranges, because we don't have to overcome the resistance of the friction of the grip of the surface trying to like hold us in position, right?
Yeah.
So eliminating that friction is just like super, super helpful. So it's 90 seconds each side, right? So let's just start in a comfy range, right? And those supports are very key for where you're at. So let's go for 30 seconds, just chilling here. 1, 2, 19, 20. All right, so we're gonna start our first contraction. We're doing the crack method, not just PNF. So first we're gonna contract against the stretch, which is gonna be driving your rear knee into the floor, driving your heel into the floor, and trying to contract the muscles we're stretching, right? So 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, and then big breath out. Explore those deeper ranges if you can. Just hold the stretch if that's where you're at. So it's 10 seconds, just chilling out here. Now we're gonna contract with the stretch, right? So the muscles on the shortening side, so big quad flex, big hip flexor, and big glute on the back leg. We're gonna do all of that at the same time. So 3, 2, 1, 4, 5, and then just relax. A little bit deeper into it, if you can.
It's cramping.
If not, that's fine.
That left hip flexor is cramping.
Yeah, okay, there you go. So just hold that stretch there, right? 2, 3, 8, 9, 10. So we're gonna repeat that process. We're contracting against the stretch with our hamstrings and hip flexors.
Give me a second. My left hip flexor is dying.
Yeah. Hop out of position quick.
It's that leg day yesterday.
See, that's the thing, man. That's probably jumping a little too deep too early.
Yeah.
Right? So then, yeah, just work from a shorter range then. Right? So we're still contracting against the stretch. So 8, 9, 10. And then we're contracting with the stretch. So the quads, glute in the back leg. 1, 2, 5. And just relax into that end range position. 2, 3, 8, 9, 10.
Right form, right intention.
Yeah.
Use the equipment. It's going to help you get the results faster.
If you're making compensations, then you're not actually creating the stimulus that's going to make like the long-term gains we're looking for. Right? So it might feel like you're getting a little deeper because you're working from the floor. But if like you look at your positioning, relatively speaking, like you're in the same range.
100%.
Right? You know what I mean? Or if anything, some people probably not even as deep. Right? So let's take this one even slower, right? Don't let the sliders pull you too far out. And this is where using the blocks, they're a little low. Like generally I'd like something you could actually press your hands into. Right? But you can, so that way you can use your arms to prevent you from just like sliding into the position, like into an uncomfortable range. We're just gonna hold this, settle into the stretch, let the nervous system down regulate a little bit, chill out here.
Yeah, that stuff is key for me. Like if I don't like breathe, and I just started going like, holy shit, then it starts.
It's very intense.
It tightens up fast.
It was like that for me as well, honestly. I'm just in a position now where like the ranges are accessible.
I mean, you worked on it and you went
for fucking years. You know, that's the thing. Like once you unlock the ranges, it's getting strong in those ranges, which is going to make them more accessible to you. Because your nervous system can sense that you have more tolerance and more capacity for force and load in those ranges. So it's like, oh, like we can just go there. You know, it's not a problem. I'm not going to hurt myself. But it takes a lot of training.
For sure.
So we're going to do our first round of contractions here. Okay. So again, contracting against the stretch. So
should I start it a little bit like closer? Just,
sure.
Just in case. Like I feel like that's what I fucked up last time. So you would suggest like stay in a place where you can just contract properly.
For the first round, especially. Right. Contracting the front heel, pushing the front heel down into the floor, pushing the knee down into the floor. 1, 2, 5. Big breath out. And just explore the stretch wherever you're at, right? Hold it if that's where you're at. Move deeper if you feel like you can. 3, 4, 5, 9, 10. So now we're contracting with the stretch. So flex that quad, flex the hip flexor, flex the glute in the back leg, as if we're lifting the legs off the floor. 3, 4, 5. And then we relax. See if we can move any deeper or hold it, like I said. Doesn't always have to be pushing deeper. Sometimes it's just making the range that you're in more comfortable, right? You're getting more conditioned to that.
Gotta come back.
Yeah.
Things pulling me way too deep.
See, they're working too well for you now. All right, so then we're gonna contract against the stretch again. 2, 3, 4, 5. And move deeper into the stretch. 2, 3, 9, 10. Contracting with the stretch. Flex that quad in the front leg. 2, 3, 4, 5. And this is the max range test right here, right? 10 seconds. 1, 2, 10. There it is, bro.
Oh.
The idea is over time, like you record those sets.
Yeah.
And then you measure out the degrees of like where you're at. So
Yeah.
you have some metrics to track going forward. Is like, is the work that we're doing here leading to more range in the big expression of flexibility, right?
Yeah.
Because like it doesn't, you don't get into more range than the splits. Like that is the ultimate expression of flexibility.
Yeah.
In the hips at least, right? So like that's a good thing to use as a barometer for your success.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, we're improving hamstring flexibility, we're improving hip flexor flexibility, we're improving the strength on the agonist side in our like hip flexors for hip flexion, our glutes for hip extension. Are all of those components that we're training individually in the session then leading to more range when we put it all together in one position?
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the concept behind it.
I like it. It's good. I'm gonna feel sore.
You will, probably.
All right, PJ, what is someone going to do if they're doing mobility training and they're dealing with pain or pinching in the stretch position?
Well, it's all about finding a good entry point to start at, whether that's using support, whether that's working through a lesser range of motion, making modifications to the stretch to just make it more tolerable. Because at the end of the day, if we want to improve our ability to access a stretched position, we need to develop more conditioning to that stretched position. And so it comes down to gradual exposure, right? Like if you're unable to tolerate it for 60 seconds, the stretch sensation, then we can drop it down to 30 seconds and just do a few sets of that. If we need to set up supports or things to make you just feel more comfortable in the stretch, it's all about just finding that entry point and then applying progressive overload from there so that we're gradually exposing ourselves to more challenging stimuluses. And yeah, just gradually working in the direction that we want to be working towards, that we're developing the conditioning to then eventually be able to do that same stretch without any pinching or pain or numbness or any of that sort of neurological discomfort that comes with stretching, right?
Yeah, like staying out of the pain and pinching and then slowly, gradually working into those deeper ranges rather than like forcing your way through it. Yeah.
And you know what? Also, like to an extent, we do also have to learn how to work through some discomfort, right? That's one of the things, especially when it comes to like rehabilitation and like physiotherapy, is some people try to like entirely avoid pain, but like there's levels to it where there's like a threshold that we don't cross. And then there's also some pain that like we need to work through as part of reconditioning the nervous system, you know, like to basically make, if we've had an injury in a range of motion, to like reconvince our nervous system that we're actually safe to go there again and to be loading those tissues, right? So like initially there might be like a 3 or 4 out of 10 pain sort of sensation, and we can't just be afraid of that and avoid it entirely. Sometimes we do have to work into that a little bit. Within a controlled threshold, of course, right? Like not pushing to the point where, you know, it's excruciating pain and we're damaging ourselves further and aggravating the injury, but like we also can't just stay in the comfort zone the entire time, right?
Yeah, like to the rehab point, what I tell all my clients is keep the pain below 4 out of 10. The sweet spot is 1 to 2 out of 10 because now you're exposing it to that stimulus that is enough for your body to adapt to, but you're not injuring yourself, you're not aggravating the symptoms. So keep it below 4 out of 10 and 1 to 2 out of 10 pain, pinching is that sweet spot where we want to work.
Well, and gradually over time that
will go.
That goes away, right? So what was once maybe a 4 or 5 out of 10 is now like a 2 or 3 out of 10. And that's when we know we're making good adaptations. And then maybe we expose sort of the next step of like breaking from that threshold into
Yeah.
maybe slightly more challenging, or just adding more load to certain exercises, or adding more time under tension, right? Just being able to like apply the principle of progressive overload is
Yeah.
really what it all comes down to at the end of the day, you know? Just like we're doing weightlifting, and over time you have to add weight to the bar, add reps, add sets, add volume, add frequency, whatever it is. These are all different levers that we can pull that are applying progressive overload. And the same needs to happen with stretching, flexibility, mobility training. Like the body adapts the same way. It just looks a little different because we're working in the end ranges, right?
All right, man. Why should someone take deep breaths during mobility work?
I mean, breathing is fundamental for reassuring our nervous system that we are in a safe position, right? Think about it as a fight or flight response. Let's say we're being chased by a bear, or someone's like forcing us into a stretched position and we're actually in true danger. We're not gonna be able to think about slowing our heart rate and breathing properly, right? And like we're gonna be in a panic. And so when you enter an end range position that's uncomfortable, your nervous system perceives that as a dangerous position, right? So that fight or flight response sort of activates, and through our breathing techniques, so if we can actually slow down our breathing, slow down our heart rate, take long, deep breaths in and out, it's gonna reassure our nervous system, okay, we're safe to be here, right? This is a tolerable range of motion. We're in a controlled setting and environment. And it also just, helps to down-regulate a lot of that neural response that initially will come when you move into a stress position, especially when you're pushing the intensity a little higher, right?
All right, PJ, how can someone balance mobility training with weight training as well as martial arts training?
I think at the end of the day, it comes down to prioritization of your time and energy, so that whatever we're doing, recovery is being taken into consideration. For example, if you're a fighter that fights at a competition level, right, or you take it seriously enough, then our skill acquisition and like combat training is going to obviously be priority number one, right? And so then it's like, okay, what are the other areas that need the most attention, right? Like, is our strength and conditioning in a good place, relatively speaking, and our mobility shit? Or is our mobility actually in a good place and our strength and conditioning needs work, right? So it's like prioritizing your volume according to your goals and the things that you need to work on the most and put the most time and energy into. Because at the end of the day, we all have finite resources, right? Like we can only put so much time out of the week into our training, and we also have to make sure that we're recovering properly. And so, you know, we can't do it all. As much as we'd like to, you can't do it all. And so then it's like, okay, well, what things are we gonna get the most bang for our buck out of, so to speak, to actually have the impact that we wanna have, right? So like, for example, if I'm a fighter, my kicks are shit and I need higher kicks and I'm trying to compete and get to a high level, then the mobility training is gonna be much more important than S&C, right? And so I would prioritize that, at least hit 2 to 3 sessions a week that are like full mobility workouts, and then fit my S&C around that because it's a lower priority on the totem pole of my training, right?
Solid, that's solid.
If I'm just like a martial arts hobbyist and I do it for fun, then combat training is not gonna be my first priority. Maybe I'm stiff all the time, I move like shit, and I just want to like actually feel better and perform better in my body, then mobility training would probably be my first priority, and then maybe strength and conditioning to supplement that and actually like develop some of the general physical qualities of hinging patterns, squat patterns, pressing patterns, pull patterns, and then maybe I'm just doing martial arts once a week or something, right? Just because it's fun, I enjoy it. Right? So then that would be my lowest priority, and I would prioritize my time towards the things that actually need the most work, right? So there's no one answer. As much as everyone would like one answer for that question,
It depends.
It depends.
It depends.
There's no right or wrong.
Yeah.
You know?
No, that's sick. That's
So
solid.
that's about as short as I'm gonna get it.
No, it was good. Honestly, like, I feel like that's going to help a lot of people.
Yeah.
I get that question a lot.
Same.
I'm trying to like just like FAQ it, you know, all of those fucking questions that people are like getting. That's what drives content, right? Like for me, that's the type of shit that I want to make a video about.
Yeah.
So now you're getting value out of it.
Yeah. How do you
And
prioritize your training?
yeah, how should you know what to do? Like that's something that a lot of people have no idea.
Especially beginners, right? Where it's like, I see on the internet, there's so many different things I can do, but like, where do I start?
Where do I start? Yeah. So like as a beginner, it's really important to know your priorities. Like you have to know your priorities.
Yes.
If you're trying to do everything at once, you're trying to do 4 weight training sessions, 4 Muay Thai, 4 mobility sessions, you're gonna burn out.
It might last 2 weeks.
Yeah, it lasts 2 weeks, then you're gonna be sore, you're gonna have central nervous system fatigue.
Yeah,
your body's
you're
not
completely
going to-
overtrained.
You're not gonna get results in any area.
Yeah.
So you need to have seasons where you prioritize each thing. Maybe right now you're focused on mobility, and then starting January you're kind of locked back into your strength training, right? Or back into your Muay Thai.
And that's actually a great point too,
Yeah.
because it's fluid, meaning that our training isn't always going to be one thing. There's going to be training blocks where we need to focus on one area, and then once we bring that up to speed, like let's say our mobility is like a 4 out of 10, our strength and conditioning is like a 7 out of 10. So once we bring our mobility to 7 out of 10, then we can reevaluate, be like, okay, now the priorities are different because we're in a different place. And so maybe the next training block, now I want to really like ramp my strength and conditioning up and get, you know, to a high level of cardio where I can go 5 rounds of 5 minutes and not be fatigued or gassed out. And so like your training will evolve as your physical capacities do.
Yeah.
Right? So
It's like seasons, right?
Yeah,
it's
there's
almost
not
like an
one
athlete's season.
forever
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah,
know?
you get it where you want, and then you can start doing something else. Then when now you want to do something else, maybe you change priorities.
The way I always think about it is like very analytical, right? So if like we say in perfect conditions, you have 100% to give, maximum, we can work on 3 goals, maximum, right? Because then you're giving about 33% to each thing, which might be enough to actually make some progress. But generally, if we can narrow it down to like 1 or 2 goals, that means you can give 100% or 50% of your time and energy towards working and improving one aspect, right? Whereas if you're working on 10 different things, you're giving 10% to each individual goal or task, and it's like good luck making progress.
Nothing
with 10%
changes then.
effort.
Nothing's gonna change.
Nothing changes.
Yeah.
You just stay stagnant in the same spot because you can't apply progressive overload, and you're always fatigued, and you're not putting enough volume or frequency into that one thing. So that's, if I was to give one tip, it would literally be write down, like at the moment, what are the main goals that we're working towards in order of priority, 3 goals max, and then we schedule our training accordingly, right? Based on those goals, what makes sense? Like what's gonna actually make priority number 1 improve the fastest or the most, and then the other 2 priorities, maybe there's one thing where it's like, it would be nice if I could do this, but I don't really fully care about it. You know, this is just a side quest. Well then, okay, we're not gonna put too much energy into
like
doing that, you know? But like we can check in on it every so often and just like see if we're making improvements on that based on maybe some of the other workouts that we're doing, right? Like a good coach and a good programmer can integrate other goals without distracting from our main purpose, right? So it's like, you know, there's ways to go about it, but especially thinking about it as a beginner, just keep it simple and pick like 1 or 2 goals that you want to work on. Train that for like 3 months, then reassess where you're at and like build from there, right? That's my
man.
2 cents, man.
Good answer, dude. It's a sick answer. It's good shit, man.
Yeah, man.
Fuck, I'm glad we linked up, dude. I'm glad we linked up.
You too.
That's awesome.